And we're waiting. Yeah. I think we live, y'all. All right, so y'all may feel a little different setup today. My wife said, let's step it up. So I listened. Went to the
Listen.
So I'm watching out over here, watching out over there to make sure it's all good. We're in the building. Authentic TV doing their thing, making us look good, making this production the way you need it and we need it.
Yep.
And we got the Fireball Queen Goddess up in this joint.
Oh, absolutely, Queen Goddess, for sure.
Tia Smedley, y'all just give us a minute. We got one more minute and we going in, y'all. TikTok.
Yeah. If you have comments, I see it. Yes, and I'll be happy to respond.
Because she can't see that.
Can't see that.
Facebookers on here. If I'm not seeing your comments, please forgive me.
We're trying
to platform, all right? So listen, y'all need to jump on right now as well. Go to YouTube to Love Jones Coaching and subscribe, like it, share, tell your mama them here. You got some gems, knowledge, son.
So,
all right, y'all come on in the house. Come on in the house. I got some drinks for you. Come on in here.
We went to and we ordered a whole bar setup.
Yeah.
I don't know this, but my husband is quite the collector of bourbons and whiskey. We had a beautiful wall, but we don't really mix drinks that often.
Nah.
And so when we went to Liquor, we found some drinks that we could mix.
Yes, indeed.
We got all of our stuff coming in, but you did mix up something really delicious.
I did, so it's a little old-fashioned, with a little splash of liquor lab.
He got y'all.
Well, they gave it. It was a gift. He told me to put it in my pocket. No, say nothing. All right, so all my Facebookers, I can't see the comments right now, but it's all good. Y'all know I'm gonna come back and holler at you, okay? So,
I'm gonna ask a question. Are you looking on Facebook right now?
You see us on there?
Yeah. It's saying it's on 360p though.
Did you?
When I'm looking at it.
I didn't do nothing. You know what
I'm going to be able to fix it from that. Go to the camera.
It's a 1080p on here.
Okay.
Yeah, it says 1080p on here.
It look bad.
Nah, it's something like that.
Okay. On here it's saying, okay, we live, y'all. Okay, let's get to it. I'm gonna let Pooh do his thing while we get into it. If you want to come over here and interrupt the program, it's cool. Y'all like y'all when I'm seeing. Let's keep it moving.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna let you kick it out, baby. Introduce this lovely sister of mine.
Yes. Okay, so last week we had some pretty heavy topic, and I have to say we got so much feedback from it. As soon as the live was over, we started getting calls, we started getting texts, emails. I'm so grateful to each and every one of you who rock with us the way you do and who reach out to us all the time to talk to us and ask questions and all of that good stuff. But we were talking about, what happens in a relationship after, sex. In the context of that conversation, infidelity came up. And what you do, when there has been that level of betrayal if you didn't have any kind of agreements up front.
Right.
And so one of the things you said that did not hit my ear the right way. Block a little bit. And so that's around last week.
She been holding on
You said that women handle infidelity a lot better than men. You said the men,
from what we see.
yes, from what we see, and from what you see, right? Unbeknownst to us, our big sister, beautiful Queen Goddess, released one of the most brilliant pieces of poetry, along with music, that I believe I've ever heard. It is absolutely beautiful. And it's been on repeat. If you follow me, I shared it on my personal page. I also shared it on Love Jones, TikTok. I shared it everywhere. And I shared it on other people's pages and groups.
Thank you.
Because it was beautiful. But in talking to her, I said, Tia, would you come on the show tomorrow? Because this is a beautiful marriage of the depths of what I can feel like, but beyond that, coming out of it, right on the other side in the beautiful way that you have, you know. And so there's so much nuance to that subject, and it never gets talked about, in my opinion, the right way that gives grace to both parties. You know, a lot of times people think that the person who did it doesn't deserve no grace, or the person who was that had it done to them, they don't deserve any grace. And so I wanted to talk about this today, and I wanted to give it the grace that it deserves, right? Because the reality is, if you're in a long-term relationship, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, 5 to 7, depending on what you can do, right? 5 months, the likelihood that you may have to experience that is quite high, right? Some people might not ever hear about it and know about it, but the likelihood of something like that happening, whether it's the man or the woman who did it, is quite high. And so I wanted to give it the time that it deserved. And so I want to start out by first letting you, Tia, tell us why, please.
And talk about that song.
About that song.
Yeah, talk about the song.
Okay. Greetings. Hello. Live world. Yes, the world. Hello to the world. The world wide web.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I am. And for those of you who know me, you know I am a big believer. When I think about introducing myself, I can never say anything about myself without first paying homage to God first. I am Tia. Tia Smedley, paying homage to the I am that I am. That's my name. I have been writing for quite some time, performing for quite some time.
Plays, a bar card, should we live there on?
No, too much to even remember. And I could go into a lot of, I've done this with this person, I've done that with
But she had.
that's not the most important thing. I am a daughter. I have 2 parents who've been married for over 43 years. It'll be their 44th of this year.
Amazing.
I'm a mother of 3 wonderful children, 2 sons, 18, 17. My daughter will be 16. Yeah, we don't get old, we get better. Yeah, we get better. We get better.
I'm the realist.
So are we, because this here is why in action. But yeah, those are some of my titles. I'm an educator. I go into different spaces and I get to help foster people with their creativity, help them to express themselves with excellence through the vehicle of poetry and spoken word.
I have to just say this. Every time I talk to Tia, it sounds like poetry. It's just a rhythm and your vibe. It feels like, even if you're just saying, yes. It's always feels like, I'm thinking,
You know, it's funny. The first time I heard Tia back in the day, you know, it was through Love Noise.
Yeah.
So when I went to the event, I thought it was her, Love Noise.
gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? You say that's always her. It's her. I didn't even know the song. No shit, I didn't know the crew yet. You know what I'm saying? So when I went to Love Noise, I'm like, oh, she does that Love Noise shit. That was my introduction to Tia. That was years ago. You know what I'm saying? And it's always been the same energy.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Oh, that's who I am. I could be found in schools, high school, all the way down. It doesn't matter. Universities on down, group homes, rehabilitation centers, prison, alternative, private, you name it. I've been able to go in and be a light.
Right.
Be a light, and I'm thankful. Be a light in the midst of light, as well as in darkness. Now this song.
Right, we gotta get into the meat of this song, man. I heard it, we heard it at the same time yesterday. Actually, we was setting this up.
Right.
And it was like, yo. And so when I heard it, I'm like, ooh, she talking. She's speaking. That's from the belly. You know what I'm saying? It was deep. And so the words that were chosen resonated with so many personal moments from my growth. Recognizing, dude, this was you, that was you, that was also you. Yeah, you know, so going back and looking at all of that growth, now being accountable for that period, saying, wow, I've grown up so much. You know what I mean? And I also recognize the preparation from that growth to present, you know, and being ready for present, you know. So dive into that because, and please feel free to elaborate on some of the words, you know, and talk about those words because I think once those words resonate, there's some accountability to begin to start generating the momentum for progress.
I love that. This song, Love and Leave, 4 period 44.
Love me and then leave me.
.444. You know, and something. It was done. It wasn't to hurt. This is me being able to capture my experience as I received it, as I understood it, and to share it creatively. It's what I do. It's what I do. When it's given to me, if I get a download, then so be it. I have been through so much relationally, but for this thing, I received love and leave. Love and leave is not just for those who have to love and leave. It is also for those who love and have to be left. It's for everybody. It's not to harm. It is to help. It is not a woman bashing. Anything about it. It's not that. It's also for the men who have to love and leave.
Don't mean that I ain't love it.
That's right. That's right. And I'll say this. This is fresh. I recorded this a couple days ago. We talked yesterday. I'm like, yo.
I just did it.
So, in my experience, this is from a 17-month relationship with a man who I thought I would end up spending the rest of my life with. And I was presented with that. I was pursued. I was extended commitment. This is what I want. When I first sat down with you, I knew who you were. And it's not, okay, I'm head over heels. No. Well, that after my questions, well, this appears to be safe enough at this point for me to understand we are on the same page. How can two walk together except they agree? We were on the same page at that point for me to know I can invest some of my time here because you want an end result that I want. Now, to be fair, the end goal would be marriage, but I know who you are. I know who you are. And I was presented with that until I was no longer presented with that. And yes, I found out that she had been communicating and seeing and having sex with a whole nother woman.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the camera? Can I? Mm-hmm. A whole blank blank. Mm-hmm.
If she was less than 4'6", it wouldn't count as a whole. I'm trying to find ways for each other to
Yeah. Well, I found out that he was doing something that we did not agree to. It was understood up front. These are my deal breakers. What are yours? What are yours? Because we got to have knowledge.
You know that boundaries.
People here is for lack of knowledge. And if I don't give you the information you need so that you can properly love me, and you don't give me the information I need so I can properly love you, this is a recipe for disaster.
So you're loved and left.
And you're loved and left. And it was understood from both of us, or so I thought, I believed, because he too, it was like, we don't really have to have much discussion. If that happens, we will part ways. Here's what I want to say in regards to this song, and in regards to those of you who have had all the reason to love and leave, and you have remained. I do not want this to be a source of shame. That's not what it's for.
No.
That's not what it's for. We all have our own deal breaker. Since for someone may say, well, that was my deal breaker and I'm still here. If you have experienced a repentance, if you all have been willing to be committed to the work of rebuilding, because once something like that happens, there's a demolition. What you had is gone, it's dead. You have to be committed to building something new. And with that said, hopefully all things have become new for you. And then if not, well.
So if I understand when you say something new has to now.
You gotta create something new.
But with you, that new couldn't be with that person.
For me, here's the reason why. We often take love and we just say love, but for me, love is integrity. Love is accountability. Love is responsibility. Love is maturity. Love is humility. And I did not see those other aspects of love. There was deflection and almost a blaming, as if I did it. And when I'm able to, I'm like, okay, there were terms that were set.
Right.
This was not, sometimes people will do the thing, and then we choose certain words to soften the hardness of the blow.
It's very blunt.
You can't, what I know, no, this was not a mistake. No, you don't have to keep saying, I'm not perfect, people aren't perfect. That's a given. It doesn't have to be announced over and over and over again. And there's a difference between imperfection and toxicity.
So had that not been the response, but more of a repentance, more of accountability, how do you feel the outcome could have been for creating something new and still being with that person?
I tell you, I wouldn't be here.
You'd be with that
I
person?
tell you, love and leave would not exist.
So there's grace for 100% repentance, is what you're saying.
Indeed. And so, if grace, repentance, we're using these words, I would be remiss if I did not speak to, some people may deem it archaic.
Come on.
My belief is my belief.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be me. Looking at what the Bible speaks about, because I am, especially now, holding myself more to those principles, because that's what keeps me safe, in a place of peace. But when I consider how God gave Moses the grant for divorce, and he said, this is due to the hardness of the people's heart. But it is also written, and I'm not opposed to having a drink. I'm just not going to be slizzard. Ain't nothing wrong. Okay. But but yeah, he gave them that, and it was not. This is not my original design, but because of the hardness of their hearts, I will allow this, especially for sexual immorality, for adultery, for, if you're going to your fornication, it's this. And it's like, well, why? He knew in his infinite wisdom, this is a hard matter. How do you come back and recover? I did not intend for you all, for what I bring together, for you all to come together under me and to divide and split and go apart. My intention was for you to remain. And my intention also was for you not to do what? Step outside. So since you're going to step outside, and since I know the pain of that, why? Because we are an adulterous nation, following, whoring after other gods. There is a pain. And in the book of Hosea, there is something where God is speaking about how you have dealt treacherously with me, and now I will withdraw myself. We forget that we're made in the image and in the likeness of God. Sometimes you can love and you still have to withdraw yourself. Right. God is gracious. He is kind. He is merciful. And grace does have an expiration.
Absolutely.
Because he's not mocked either.
And going into what you were speaking about earlier, the whole topic, go ahead and read that, because I think that rolls right into the topic for the day.
So, a couple of things. One thing, and the reason why I did want to bring this subject up again is because for women, just because we carry things gracefully does not account for the pain. It doesn't mean that it is not heavy, right? We may have a lot more grace. We may not go out and fight somebody or do those things. Whether we stay, whether we not, we still bear it. And it shows up in so many different types of ways. And as Kia was talking, she said she did have a conversation at the beginning. And that's what we always expect you guys to do. Have a conversation, be honest up front, say who you are. And you always tell me it's so hard for some men to do that. Because you don't want to run somebody off with your truth, right? I think the same could probably be said for several women. It may be hard to be honest. But you have to be honest, because being dishonest means that you are being someone you're not, trying to hold on to someone you're not supposed to have.
That's deep. And it goes on to say you don't want to be honest with the person you love. You rather lie to that person than be honest with the person you don't love. And so you're right. But there is a self-preservation when it comes to that, because what you did wasn't a mistake. You did what you chose. You hoped that it would be covered up or not found out. To be accountable for having an answer to it. And that's not a male only situation, that's also female. We always say females are the biggest players in the ring. You never know. But at the same time, when that self-preservation kicks in, you have a huge decision to make in that very moment. Find something to say other than that, because if you do, you don't want to see that one cry. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not condoning the lies whatsoever. I understand the lie, but I don't condone them. But that's also speaking of that brave place and that safe place to be able to say, hey, I screwed up. It wasn't a mistake. I decided to do what I did. I screwed up. Now you have to figure out how to come into this brave place within yourself to enter that conversation. So No, and I think we do have a misconception of thinking that women carry that load better than us.
Oh, no.
We are humans built with a lot of the same organs.
Yes.
And that kind of pain affects the heart, affects the liver, affects, I mean, it affects the brain. Then you start mentally, right? And so that misconception that women handle things way better than men, like you said, just because you don't see it or it's handled more gracefully doesn't mean the pain doesn't exist in the same magnitude. So, I definitely want to correct myself in that, you know what I'm saying? You know, thinking that, because we see it different.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I love that.
Our fluids over here crawling on the floor. Over here crawling on the floor, man, making sure the stuff right.
He is the best. I want to think for a second of some of the ways that pain can show up, right? Now, we all understand when relationships end because of that level of betrayal.
Right.
And let's be clear, a lot of times it's not the act, it's the betrayer. It's the betrayal and it's the shame that comes along with it. And it's the uncertainty that the other person has. Was I not good enough? Was I not pretty enough? Was I not handsome enough? Was my member not big enough? Was I, it's all of those things that can creep into your mind when you're going through that and they come out, whether you're a man or you're a woman, right? When you experience betrayal that way.
Right.
Some people have been able to work through that. I would love for us to start, for us to, in this, the context of the time we have, to think about how we say it. How we say it.
Man, that's loaded.
Yeah.
It is. It's important because the reality is that so many people deal with that. And so many people stay. You don't know it because no one talks about it.
Well, the staying, how you're staying is very important.
It is.
Are you staying with this intent on getting this person back? Are you staying to keep this cloud over this person's head? Because if you forgive.
Forgive it.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't want to keep living this thing over and over and over again because you said you forgave me, but and that goes for men and women. Sure.
Yes.
Please understand I'm speaking to us men more than I'm talking to the women because yes, it's very tough and it bruises our ego significantly when we find out that our woman has been or entertained somebody else. Yes, I would like to say that women handle that better because I'm a man. And of course I would think that, right? But at the same time, if we decide that it's our choice to stay and make this work, the work begins with you, with saying, I commit to not letting this live over her head. I commit to me holding myself accountable to not make her have to repeat this over and over and over again. So the commitment starts with the individual.
It's a recommitment for sure. It's a recommitment to be sure. And, all of those things can come up. For women, it may come up in, being passive aggressive. It may be weight gain. It could be weight loss. It can be the lack of caring for yourself the way you should.
Pretty form, Mama.
Right. We have this strong woman syndrome that we have to work around and work with. All of those dynamics may pop up, but people do stay. And I just don't ever feel like it's enough air to talk about that. Because typically people only talk about the fallout when you leave. They don't talk about the fallout that it can be when you stay or the beautiful place that you end up.
Right.
Because you understood how to work through that with your person.
Right.
There is something happening when there's infidelity.
Well, not all the time.
Not all the time, but many times there are. And even if it's always something happening. Let me go back. There's always something happening. If it is for a person that is promiscuous, variety is the spice of life. They just like to go out and experience different people and all of that. There is still something happening. for the person who just did it that one time, had that one indiscretion. There was something happening there. And it doesn't mean that it's always the lack of the other individual.
Right. It can have everything to do with, well, and to me, yeah. Something to do with the person who is, something is going on. Something's, whether it's due to an external reason or not. I want to say this. I want to, I celebrate you all. You are the married couple.
We are.
I've been there. And
We have too.
Yeah.
And I was married for 10, and that's the father of my children. And I've been divorced for that amount of time. And I have definitely had my ups and downs relationally when I think about conversations that are not had. And let me say this as well, because I've been on both sides of this. I know what it is to be cheated on and also to cheat in marriage. I know what that is. We had so much, everything went on with that. And it was like, okay, we need to just stop. Right. But as far as committing to stay, why do people not? I can go back and I can speak to my experience there in moments where I'm going to remain. There was a shame. There was a shame for me in walking away. Now I feel like a failure. There was the questioning of self. What happens when people stay and they don't say anything? The psychological impact of remaining when you are riddled with doubt. Have I betrayed my worth? Have I betrayed my own dignity to be here with someone who has not cared for my safety physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually? Someone who has literally uncovered me. I can't function. How is this going to? There's that piece of it.
I completely agree, and you said it so eloquently.
Oh, she's just so smooth and wordy.
She is, but there's also, you suffer by yourself, right? Because the likelihood of you talking to friends or family about it is very, very low because you don't want to face that judgment, right? And if you have elected to stay, you don't want them to treat your person a certain type of way.
And treat you a certain type of way because you stay.
Exactly. So now you're in this prison, right? The most freeing thing you can do is say, yeah, he did it. Yeah, I stayed. And we good over here. And I need y'all to be good over there. I think I'm the oldest of us sitting here at this table. I know I'm older than him. He loves to say I pounced on him.
Cougar line. And I let it out.
But I think the biggest blessing I have gotten from being 50 and over is that every earmuffs, mama, if you're watching, mama, earmuffs, because it ain't no other way for me to say this.
You too, T.
T, you too. I'll just say this. Every F word that I had to give, I left in my 40s.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I have no more.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
There is a freedom of not caring what other people think. We many times live in a prison of other people's expectations.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I refuse to.
But that's liberation.
Yeah.
So liberating, baby. So liberating. I have never felt so free in my life. It is the biggest gift I've ever been given.
Yeah.
Because I truly don't care.
Right.
I truly, for real. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care what you think about
But you have
me.
to understand that everybody doesn't have that same power, that superpower.
I know.
of being able to release the care that everybody else has, because they'll hold on to that shame.
Yes.
You know, and they'll damage themselves holding on to that shame.
Right.
You know, but I think it's important for your person to stand up for you at that time.
Yes.
You know, if you're the villain in this, man, you show up more now than you ever have shown up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Makes a difference.
It makes a huge difference because when they see you standing together,
Yes.
hey, yes, this happened to us, but it didn't break us. It built us.
Man.
Right? So
Go back and say that one more
it
time.
didn't break us, it built us.
That part.
Right? And it made that foundation so much more firm.
Yes.
You know, man, we've gone through a challenge here.
Yes.
Now you get to see us restructure and build from this.
I believe the only way to truly clean up a room is to make a bigger mess first. And when we consider that in terms of relationships, what does that look like? That means it's a dump.
Yes.
I need you to tell
Everything.
everything.
Yes.
Be willing to put it all out on the table. You mentioned earlier, you spoke about bravery and courage, and you know, you got to be brave enough to say this or say that. Okay. Because I have, in my experience, gone, where is the risk? You don't see me as valuable enough to go, I don't care how I look, what she thinks, what anybody else thinks. You are what I want. Many women have done well, but you have excelled them all. I find treasure there. I'm coming for the whole field. If you don't have that to come, because you can leave the relationship, but then don't leave the relationship.
Say that.
When you leave and you step out, you might, if you want to keep it, don't leave. Don't run. Don't continue being selfish and allowing yourself to be covered with your pride and allow your fear of rejection to keep you from a blessing. Somebody who would be willing to meet you in the middle of the floor and we pulling everything out.
Right.
We got to dump it all out.
All of it.
All of it out. So
All
we
of
can
it.
see, what do we need to discard? What are we agreeing to get rid of? What needs to be recycled? What do we need to dust off and make shine and put back on the shelf for display? Are we committed to the rebuilding, to the reconstruction?
Right.
It's easy to send a bulldozer to knock something down.
Right. Still got to
But
be cleaned up.
It has to be cleaned up.
Yeah.
You got to clean that up first
Demo has to be cleaned up.
before you even begin erecting the skyscraper, this edifice that you want. You got to be committed to that process. And when you are not, and you can't be committed alone.
No. But you can't be committed alone, but the ugly is important.
Yeah.
You got to get this ugly out. Who you are is who you are.
Yes.
Don't contain that ugly from your person.
Please don't.
Your person needs to know who you are.
Want to know.
Because your person can handle who you are.
Or your person might mess around and have that same ugly. Like,
Yeah.
you're real. Like, dang, I've been holding this in this whole time. Didn't know you was too.
Let me share this piece of conversation. I'd said, at some point, you got to be willing to tell the truth. I wish you would have let me know off top that you really weren't ready to be responsible for commitment. And said, I feel like you denied me the opportunity to really love you and denied yourself the opportunity to be loved. You didn't let me see. And no, had you told me some things, I still got some doors open. I still had this. You wouldn't have gotten all the benefits.
Right.
But I think you're dope. I want to get to know you. Well, let's get to know each other.
Right.
We see each other in these places. We can talk and hang out. Safe place to get to know. Maybe we could have built from there. But it is a gift to be known.
You know, but when people are engulfed in dope, your aura, your light, when they meet that type of person, man, it'll make you in that moment feel like I'm ready.
Wow.
Right? Because when you know what I mean. When you come across somebody like, I remember when the Honorable Minister Farrakhan came to Nashville and he was supposed to speak at TSU. He wasn't able to do it. And this little small Baptist church on Jefferson said, hey, Minister, you got the church.
Yeah.
And we all cried. Man, I made it my business. I just wanted to get close to him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not, a follower of the faith, but I'm a follower of leadership.
Yes.
Right? And he is a teacher to me.
He
right?
is.
And man, when just being in that presence made you feel so whole, so complete, man. It just felt like you were part of the whole history of it all. You know what I mean? You were a part of being in the wake of one of the last leaders.
Right.
You just so when you're in that moment of being around something that powerful, y'all are powerful. And I took this woman's shoes out the first time I got to meet her. It was twofold, but
He has a foot fetish. He has a foot
gotta
fetish.
make sure the feet was right.
At the time,
But I knew that he was tired from walking around that whole thing.
At the time, I thought he was Prince Charming, and he happens to be my Prince Charming for sure.
I did it right.
To be sure,
Right.
he did it absolutely right. But I did learn later.
I told her later. I told her the whole
Like the foot fetish. So,
when I took that grand slip out, and I seen them manicured toes, I turned into Nelly. Manicured toes. I was so happy. And I touched that little soft skin on their feet and put them on the floor. I said, I know you've been walking around working all day. I just wanted to help you relieve yourself, And I relieved my thoughts. And I won. But it was her aura that made me feel like I want to be honest with her. Because she deserves me to be real because her aura is real, right? So I know in that moment, a lot of times we feel like we're going to do it right this time, right?
Was it all
I can't speak.
aura, or have you had enough growth to get to the point where you were ready to say, I'm going to handle myself with the utmost integrity, and
Well,
boom.
it was that, but I had handled myself with the utmost integrity. I handled myself by making some moves prior to meeting
That's what
her
I'm saying.
that was important for me to
For
do.
you.
You know what I'm saying?
And she reaped the benefit
Right.
of you doing your work.
Right. So I had made some pivotal adjustments in my life that I was like, yo, this is my direction
Yeah.
now. The universe put her in my path
Yeah.
where a year later, coming in contact with her again after the first meeting, it was just perfect.
Yeah.
It was the time was right. And the
Right.
time for true honesty
Yes.
was right.
Yeah.
Where everything was just put on the line. I told her, I'm jacked up.
he did.
I'm girl,
You can
He
respect
did.
that.
man.
You can respect
I
that.
can respect,
Yeah.
and that's why I think, I don't know if I understood how powerful honesty was
Boy.
until I met Cool. Until I met my husband.
I love that.
I did not understand
My
the
God.
power of transparency.
Bye.
I just didn't, because no one had ever been that honest.
Mm.
Ever in all my life. To
Mm.
just walk up and say, hey, this is what it is. This is what it is.
It was a whole healing in a package of a
I
man.
was ready to risk it all. Like you said, the risk, right? When are you willing to risk it? Like,
Yes.
And
that risk paid off for him.
Yes.
But it also, and for me, it paid off for me because it helped me
Ooh, that's healing.
understand who I was with.
Yes.
And it made me be honest with myself
Yes.
to say, anytime something happened,
Yeah.
you know what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
You know what you got. You know what you signed up for. And what do I get from this man
Yeah.
that makes anything else plausible for me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because we tell couples this all the time in our coaching. I always tell women in particular, because Corey talks to most of the men and I talk to the women.
Right.
But I always ask them, what are your must-haves and your nice-to-haves?
Mhm.
Right? You have some things in you that are just your must-haves.
You must use deodorant.
You must be this.
You
You
wanna do it.
must give me these kind of things.
Right.
Because when we go look for houses, you know, when anytime we're making big
Yes.
choices, big purchases,
Yeah.
we have thought about
Right.
like, it's got to have a pretty kitchen.
Right.
It has to have this. Like we
Yes.
know
Mhm.
what the must-haves are,
Right.
and we also know what the nice-to-have.
That's
Right.
It would
right.
be nice
Yes.
to have a big tub.
Right.
I ain't got to, but it really would be
Right.
nice. To have.
Right.
It would be nice, right? And then we also know our deal breakers,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And sometimes we can get confused there.
Mhm.
And we also need to be honest about what we are and who we are. It's not fair to just ask a man to be
Yeah.
lay all of their bull on the table
And you not.
and you hutching like you sitting there like little Miss Sweet
Right.
ain't never be nothing
Right.
to nobody.
Right.
Yeah, man, honey, you got a history just like he
You know,
does.
Steve Harvey said something the other day in regards to men are supposed to be the providers and take care of the woman.
Mhm.
I listened to that several times, you know, and like you were saying, what are you bringing? It was about bringing something to the table. You know, we think of everything in monetary value.
Yes.
And when we break that down and comb through with a fine tooth comb, let's take the money aspect out of it.
Mhm.
You know, what are the intangibles that are so important, that are tangible for your heart and your mind and your spirit and your soul, right?
Mhm.
Like, if we take money out of it, is this person satisfying your level of peace?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is this person satisfying your equity of life,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right? We're people of a certain age. Is this person that person's gonna love your stinking butt to take care of you?
Listen.
Is he gonna be able to understand the signs of a stroke?
That part.
Like,
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
things you need to
Jessica
try.
Right.
Are you gonna tell me, hey, babe,
Right.
about
That's
this?
Because, you know, when we start talking about what are you bringing to the table, man, I need this stuff here, that realm that you bring, that you understand me.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
If you bringing, you know, $1,300 a month in, okay, cool. But we're not talking about just monetary value here. Give me those intangible luxuries. Give me that you love me because I am.
Because I am.
Woo.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Love me because you truly
Yes.
feel like that I'm your one.
Right.
It ain't got nothing to do with this money. So I wish people would really break that down. And Brother Harvey, you might have. I just heard the sound bite, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, we really need to elevate that conversation
Indeed.
and really dive into that and not just leave it bare, thinking that everything is superficial.
You know, I want to share this little piece of knowledge my big mama gave to me. She said, if you marry somebody for money, you will earn every dime. Ooh, and I have to tell you, that stuck with me my whole life.
Wow.
It has always stuck with me.
Wow.
Because she did not lie about that.
Yeah.
And the reality is, it's fleeting. A loss of a job can take somebody out.
That's
Yeah, man.
right.
You can be an entrepreneur. A loss of a huge contract
Yeah.
can take somebody out.
Yes.
You know, you can get sick
Yeah.
and lose income.
Yeah.
That's right.
It can take you out.
Yeah.
So when that's all gone,
Right.
because you ain't gonna take it nowhere with you.
Yeah.
When it's all gone, what are you standing on?
Right.
It's such a naked
What?
platform.
What are you standing on?
No substance.
No substance. No substance there at all.
So before we go into these questions, I know we on the time, man.
We
It's
are.
such a great energy that we got right here.
It is.
Will you please hit us with some bars and that song? I'm ready to go on tour right now.
That's crazy. This is the deal. I told you it was fresh.
Did you freestyle a lot of that? Man, bars.
I will say this. I had a lot written
Mm-hmm.
in my journal. I have my journal. I did bring
You need
it.
to go get your journal.
And
You need to go get your journal. Go get your journal. Come on here.
no. I could go through some of the
You can do.
lyrics, but it's not committed to memory because it's fresh. I went in the studio and there were some things I said, okay, I'm gonna play.
Right.
I'm gonna try some things out. I'm gonna see what works.
Can you share? Can you go get your journal?
Yeah.
Hey,
It's right over there.
Go ahead. Go get your
It's right.
journal. You know.
Thank you, Mama Mia.
You see what I'm saying? Listen,
Okay.
man. It slaps so hard.
Okay.
Just the whole flow, the arrangement. And who was the producer?
Now the producer is Dion So. The engineer whom I record with, his name is Timothy Chameleon.
Okay.
Chameleon.
Okay.
I like to call him Chameleon. Okay. My boy.
See what I'm saying?
Tim Hill. He is pretty known. He's a genius, and he is my friend.
Listen, the arrangement on that.
He's my friend, and he
So
lets
slick.
me. Yes, I feel like we work well together.
Mhm.
where I
It's
can
like I'm
say,
looking at Jill Scott.
I love chili from Philly. I
man.
had a friend say, "Man, I felt like I was listening to like Jill when she first came out."
Yeah.
And I have always been so fond of
Jill.
her.
Yeah.
I've admired her artistry.
Yeah, man.
Love when she goes into the operatic.
Yeah.
She is.
She has
wonderful.
never let us down in a show yet.
Yes,
You
yes.
know, but you have this Erica, Jill, Simone, like you got like you yeah, man. Yeah, you
These are three that I
man.
enjoy, and Nina Simone
I
is
love
my
her.
top.
Yes.
Nina Simone is my top. Jill Scott,
Yes.
so in my heart, I am enamored.
So listen,
With
in
her.
school we used to. Yeah. If you didn't even hit the beat,
Here's what it
giving it to
is.
y'all.
I'm not now, and I have an extended version of this joint that I'll probably drop it at some point.
Okay.
That gives a little bit more, but I'll just start here with can't flirt me, see me, text me, talk me, DM me, date me, ask for exclusivity. Claim the end goal is to marry me. Introduce me to your friends and all your family. And then I go into at night we be praying. You touch me, love me, sex me, love me, give me, love me, gift me, love me, while still screwing, communicating with your old side. That's the beginning. That's the beginning.
She came out
Listen,
of the
man,
gate. With
if y'all haven't heard
fire.
this song, please go to our page. It has been
Oh.
shared. It is fire, and it will lift you or drop you clean out the air, whatever side you stand on.
I tell you, Tia, it was such a cathartic thing for me to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Why?
She about to drop that up skin, ass. Why? And I want to know too, why?
well, you know, I think anybody who has loved
Mm-hmm.
and experienced that
Mhm.
level of pain,
Mm-hmm.
I never really understood how to put that pain into
Mhm.
context and words.
Mm-hmm.
And so a part of it was unsettling to relive,
Yes.
right? Because if you've experienced that, it's unsettling
It is.
to relive, and you say it in a way that is so soul crushing
Mm-hmm.
at times,
Mm-hmm.
but inspiring at others,
Mm-hmm.
that it makes you sit with pain
Mhm.
that you've had and thought you put aside,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So you think, okay, I'm over whatever.
Right.
I'm sitting it aside. But reliving it that way was cathartic in that hearing it, I thought, but look at me now.
Yeah.
You know, it was cathartic at that. It was like I didn't pledge anything.
Yeah.
So I'm speculating truly. But when I hear people say you walk through the burning sands and you come up, that's what it felt like. It felt like me walking through the burning sands and thinking, look at me now.
Yeah.
I lived through that. I survived that.
Was it worth it? Was the survival worth it?
Yeah.
Man, was it ever?
Yeah.
Was it ever?
So much better. I have to say that even with this, I'm glad. It hurts. Still. I still love. And I have to leave because of the lack that we spoke about before. Right? But what I gained and how I was able to see the parallels between what some of the things in the relationship and in the aftermath and tie it to even my experience growing up. Both of my parents, I said, they've been married for, it'll be 44 years, April 4th. And I came up in a home where I felt like there was at times more criticism. When you're met with that and it has a sound, or if you have a parent who speaks to you in a way and it's not kind, well, that's your parent. You're not going to leave your parent. It's family you love. And you can end up conditioned with compromising your safety for someone else's comfort. I don't want to be here, but my parents want me to be here. But I don't like the way this made me feel. There's no accountability. Once I was able to see the mirror and go, why didn't I leave when you send me stuff on Instagram, but you don't want me to follow you? Why don't you want me to follow you on Instagram? Well, it's because I don't want you to think that I'm going to be looking at your stuff and seeing who's liking your stuff. Well, wait a minute. No, that sounds like that's what you don't want done to you. Well, yeah.
Projection.
Lots of projecting. And then it's, well, if that's what we're doing, then I can go and like some men that I enjoy looking at. I like big chest.
Tyson.
He
likes Jamal Moore.
Tyson Beckford.
My goodness.
Listen, I ain't got a problem with it. I'm all cool with it. As long as she let me be okay with my little people, I'm good.
There may be, and to each his own, but there may be a difference.
No, you ain't got like I'm weird.
No.
but if you are sharing an affection with someone else that you're not sharing with me, if you are doing it and you've not done, how can you give so much compliments to one and you don't give it to me when you see me? But you are thirsting for it from me. You'll suck it up and eat it up. Those are issues. It's not reciprocal. But like those things, I experienced those things. And then to go, why didn't I stop and say, hey, you know what? This is not going to work out for me. I did not know that I had these dysfunctional natural instincts
subconscious
that I had to become aware of so that then I would be free to make a different choice.
Right.
When dysfunction is normal, you got to have something that is so abnormal to come in that hurts you so bad to wake you up.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And in that, it was okay. Thank you. Prayer. Thank you.
Right.
Therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not going to take this from my parents, I for dang sure ain't taking it from nobody else.
There it is.
Yep.
So listen, we're gonna go into a couple of questions.
Do we
got
have
a couple
time?
minutes. So we gonna make time. Y'all still with us?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we got Tia. Y'all ain't going nowhere.
Oh.
Listen, so I'm gonna read this first one off, right?
Okay.
So the caller is a 34-year-old female. Here's a scenario. Rachel recently discovered that her partner had a one-night stand while they were on a break. While they were on a break. All right. So the question is, we were on a break when my partner had a one-night stand. Should I consider this cheating? And what should I do moving forward? I'm gonna let you take that one, Tia. I'm gonna sit back with my.
That's interesting. I actually have more questions. More.
It's always more questions.
Yes.
We need more content, but that's all we get.
Yeah.
They be sneaky with it. They don't really want to let us know everything.
Right. You go to the doctor and you don't tell them about your aches and your pains. You're not going to go out with any solutions either. I wonder, a break, like, are you married? And if you're married, then I'm assuming this is some type of agreed separation. And what were the parameters of the separation? Was it communicated that we are not doing this? In my mind, if you're married, then no, you're not entertaining other people like that. If it's a regular, did she say boyfriend? She did say boyfriend. She did say boyfriend. Okay. So it's a boyfriend girlfriend situation. I'm sorry.
And she said my partner. Yeah. I don't know if it's a boyfriend, girlfriend. She said partner.
Well, okay. Partner, one night stand on a break. What was outlined for the do's and don'ts of the break? What was communicated? If there was no communication.
So we didn't have any rules on the break.
If there were no rules on the break,
These are the breaks. He was
he's taking advantage of this liberty because nothing was established.
Right.
And then from there, she's just going to have to determine if that's something that she can
continue
to live with.
All right. Babe, what you think?
I would say the exact same thing. You know, if you didn't have any agreements up front about what that break would look like, then all bets are off. And so at that point, if y'all make the determination to get back together, well, she asked if it's cheating. So no, it's not cheating unless you agree that neither one of you would see each other, see other people, and see other people. If you did not say that specifically, then no, there was no trust that was broken. So.
Got you. All right, we got another one right here. This caller's a 45-year-old male. Tom's wife has a lower sex drive and he feels neglected. He blue baller. So the question is, my wife has little interest in sex and I'm feeling frustrated. How can I express my needs without making her feel pressured or inadequate? Take it away, Tia. Yeah, what are we doing? Man, you know, old Tommy. He's 45. I'm surprised he's feeling so alive.
He might have got some fuel.
You got that fuel 72 hours. You know what you're doing, Tom. I see you. I know what you're up to. Now you're holding obligated.
Right.
Yeah. He's standing up, TPing.
Oh, no.
Come on, Tommy. Tell us the secret. Come on.
Speaking to her without making her
Feel
pressured and inadequate. I believe in the love sandwich.
Come on, you got to break that down.
The love sandwich. You have your first slice of bread.
Light bread, wheat bread.
Oh, whatever. We are not multi-grain. No. We're not going to do that. Multi-grain seeded.
Yeah, seeded.
But yeah, you're going to lead with love. And that may be, it's affirming. It's affirming. I think anytime you have something hard to share with the person, you want to make sure that timing is correct. If it's a good time, preferably when there's not a whole lot going on and it's a chill vibe.
You standing up because it ain't a whole lot going on. Ain't nobody else around. The kids going up and down the house. She ain't safe. She ain't safe. She ain't safe.
Okay, well then if that's the case, then maybe not then.
Out of there.
He might feel pressure. You know, he's feeling the pressure, and he's going to end up pressuring her.
He's projecting.
He's projecting. But I don't maybe if they're elsewhere,
Mhm.
you know, in a restaurant. So considering timing, I would suggest, and I would also suggest lead with something that is affirming. This is what I love and I enjoy.
Mhm.
This is what I appreciate. From there, this is what would help me even more.
Right.
Taking on more of the responsibility, watching your words. It would make me feel if we, as opposed to, can you just do,
Right.
I don't like when,
Mhm.
yeah. It makes me feel alive when we, using we, it's all inclusive. I'm not singling you out. Putting what needs to be said in the middle. You got your meat.
Yeah.
You got your cheese. You
Right.
got your lettuce. You got your tomato. You dress it up how you want. And then you top it with love.
Love sandwich. Fellas, don't do this on your own. Go to 1-800-ASK-TIA. And you got to say it just like her. You start with love.
That's what I would like.
Anything else? And
I can only speak from what I would like as a woman to think something that would help me to not feel
Right.
inadequate or attacked, less than.
But just make sure you started it and end it with love.
Love is
Love.
essential. It's
You
essential.
rub it in like essential oils.
That's right.
Love.
That's
And
right.
tell her you ain't doing it right. Now, don't do it. Don't do that. 1-800-ASK-TIA first. I'm playing, man. I'm playing.
Well,
You got one more time? You gonna jump in? Jump in on that.
no.
You do?
I was about to rap. So
Oh, yeah. She's shutting y'all down.
shutting it down.
I ain't ready to leave Tia right now. Tia got us so
I know.
I'm about to dim the lights, let the candles just play that song again. I'm being here playing it.
Well, Tia ended with a love sandwich, and because it's three of us, we got love in the middle for sure.
Yeah.
Tia, there are no words to thank you enough for joining us today. I really want you to know how special your song is, your poem is. But separate and aside from that, I want you to know how dynamic and special you are and how much you mean to both of us. We love you. We love you the long way.
No, right.
For sure.
How can they find you, Tia, and listen to some of the music that you put out as you
Yes. I recently joined the infamous TikTok.
go? Don't know for how long.
Exactly. Shout out to my bestie, Nikki, who's like, girl, go ahead and sign up for TikTok because I'm going to get this thing if you sign up. And I don't know if she ever got what she was trying to get, but I had it. So I'm there at the Tia Smedley, still figuring things out. I'm really green. If it sticks around, then over time I will build more. Facebook, Tia Smedley. Instagram, the Tia Smedley. Right now, I have Eros Love that is streaming on all platforms. So Spotify, iTunes, Apple. You can find it there. And this joint that has brought me here, I'm so glad that I could have something beautiful come from something that caused me a lot of pain. Yeah. Love and Leave. Love and Leave is available currently on Spotify. It may be on some other platforms. I don't know. I haven't gotten the notification yet, but it will be. So listen, stay tuned, extended version coming, and some other music.
Don't y'all
Listen.
love, like, I was sitting here thinking just now, I should just record you talking and that could wake me up. I would
Even when you used to have your voice.
Morning.
Yeah.
Good morning, sunshine.
See, I would wake up with the best, much better, for sure. Much better.
You know what I wake up morning hello is?
We're not morning.
Nah.
We're not.
But listen, man, if you want your voice recordings redone, holler at 1-800-ASK-T to get your voice recording done for you, man.
Indeed.
Listen, this has been an honor, pleasure. This is our first time being on the platform.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
it is.
Baby, thank you for being here. Hey, man, this has been so dope.
It has.
Boy, Flew over there handling the business behind the camera.
Follow him already. You should go to YouTube.
Authentic TV.
Authentic TV. You will find all kind of content.
That ain't a little off.
Yeah.
Right enough.
He's one of the most incredible producers that I know. I adore him.
Awesome.
And everything that we do, that's who we lean in on.
So while y'all are on here right now, we need you to go to YouTube right now and go subscribe for the YouTube page, the YouTube channel. All right, we need you to do that. Like, share, drop us some comments, let you know what you think about us. Holla Tia, man.
Yes,
I'm gonna come up with another. Yeah,
YouTube Smedley.
Yes.
And on all platforms, it is at Love Jones Coaching. For those of you who bought the book, thank you. We are still selling quite a bit of them. So if you would like to go buy a book, you can go to lovejonescoaching.com or Amazon and search for Audacious Intimacy.
Or just come over to the vision board party that we got coming up.
We are so excited. We will be hosting our January get together, a vision board party at Ariel's. It used to be Willie B's over in Antioch.
Yep.
It is this Sunday, January 19th from 2 to 5. We would love to have you there. This is a free event. Doesn't cost
ain't costing you nothing. We gonna supply everything. Come over, put your 2025 vision together.
Yes, we're
going.
All the supplies. Make sure you RSVP though.
Yeah.
I want to make sure we have enough boards for everybody.
And we only got a certain amount of people we letting come because we paying for y'all stuff.
Yes.
RSVP, man. Y'all come through.
Well, let me say this. We're not paying for your food and your drinks. If
that
you
part.
eat and drink, that's on you. But everything that you need for your vision board, we will be supplying that. And so very, very thankful for Ariel's. Shout out to them. And that's it.
That's it.
That's all.
We are part of this joint. Love y'all.
That's it.
Until next time, y'all like, share, comment, let your folks know, let your mama know what we got going on over here. All right?
See y'all later. Bye.